I still think we can finish ahead of Arsenal. Now, in the bigger scheme of things, doesn't matter apart from his Hooks' obsession for the last 3 months. No, second to fifth is exactly the same.
For like
but when you
each respective team, when they're playing someone that's also battling with them for the top 5, they have to win those games. Like those are the games that they have to win.
Or not lose.
No, they have to win them.
It depends. Like if you look when we played Villa the other week, right? We were 6 points ahead of them at the time. If we won, we would have gone 9 clear of them. If we lost, which happened, it went 3. Had we drawn, the gap would have held at 6. If you're the higher team in that 6-pointer, you can't lose, I would say. If you're the lower team, you need to win. Do you get me? It's like you want to keep that lower team at bay, at least leave how you started.
Like for Nottingham Forest specifically, yeah. The reason why I think that you guys will still make top 5 is because
you've been consistent on that, Hooks. You've been consistent.
Is because you face Leicester at home, which is a win. You're winning that game. That's 3 points.
Yeah.
You have West Ham away, which is also 3 points. And then your last game of the season is against someone who is you're battling for the top 5 at home. So if you win that game, that's 9 points. That should be you wrapped up Champions League football. Now, I don't even think the games prior to that really matter too much. Obviously, you try not to lose them, but I don't think you need a win in the Spurs game. I don't think you need a win in the Brentford game. I don't think you even need a win in the Palace game. So
But what do you say they need a win in the Spurs game? Because this is one of the games they're playing against. Let's have it right. Spurs are 16th, but this is one of the lowest sides they're going to play in the league. So when we're talking about one of the worst teams, you have to look at these games and be like, these are must-win games. Despite it being Spurs, we are technically and statistically one of the worst teams you're going to play till now in the end of the season.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, no, but Hooks is saying it doesn't. Basically, what Hooks saying, and I agree with him, is that if we don't beat Spurs tonight, it doesn't put you out of it because you still got. He's right. As Leicester, like I see it like this, right? I see it as Forest need to get 65 points. That's 5 points plus the 3 points from Leicester. Yeah, so we need 5 points technically, which is a win and 2 draws, in my opinion, or say another 2 wins. I agree with the way West Ham are moving now. They look just as bad as a Leicester.
Yeah.
So on paper, you would say that Forest are banked 6 points. If you look down that list that Forest have, you'd go Leicester and West Ham, you'd bank them 6 points. Yeah. That puts us on 63. If we were to beat Spurs, you're now looking 66. And then if we can pick up a win from a Brentford or a point from there or a Palace, maybe Palace get to the final. They've fallen off since they got to the semis. I think we need 2 draws out of that. So I'm saying Forest need 2 wins and 2 draws. That for me on paper is Leicester and West Ham, 2 draws elsewhere. If we beat Spurs, that makes the pressure and the ease of it for me a lot easier. So as much as everyone's trying to press me on never a foul, I've been consistent. I'm not worried. Even we haven't kicked a ball in 9 games and we're 6th. Even if we lost today, yes, we've made it the pressure higher, but the task is still the same.
Because it's not even all due respect. It's not really. There's not really that many. It's only you and Aston Villa. Like for me, the only teams that are vying for top 5 is you, Aston Villa, Newcastle, and Man City.
Chelsea aren't in it.
That would be, of course, because Chelsea are there as well.
No, bro, they have to face Newcastle at St. James's Park, and they have to face you at the City Ground.
And Liverpool.
And they have to face Liverpool. Like, bro,
and United out here is strenuous because, like you said, they're facing teams in and around them, so those points are invaluable. And although I agree, Chelsea are in a disadvantageous position, but you have to look at it. They're 57 points. They're all level with Aston Villa, and they're 2 points behind Newcastle. So if they're in the race. The race between there is going to be going until the last game of the season.
On paper, they're in the race. I don't think when it comes to Forest Chelsea at the end of the season, I think Chelsea are done already by that.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, 100%.
And that makes that game easier for us. If we need anything out of that game, It's easier.
So do you know what? Now, let me ask you a question going back to something you said a few months ago now.
Go on. Receipts.
That's what Wolfie doesn't like. Accountability. Wolfie doesn't like to be accountable for his
I'll
take.
be accountable for anything, bro. Go on.
I remember around January, February time, late January, early February times, you were very confident of finishing above a certain Arsenal. You said if we can go and do it, I don't think Arsenal in the league, we can finish above Arsenal. Our race is to finish above Arsenal. That's what I want to do this season. Also, now, if you did win tonight, you'd only be 6 points off them. So you wouldn't be out of the race completely. Do you still think that's a possibility, or do you think Arsenal just going to have too much?
Wait, also as well, Jords, he said Arsenal are not finishing in the top 5.
And I didn't know you said that. That's crazy. All right, we're getting there.
That one, I retract. Yeah, I still think we can finish ahead of Arsenal. Now, in the bigger scheme of things, doesn't matter apart from his Hooks' obsession for the last 3 months. No, 2nd to 5th is exactly the same. But when you look at Arsenal, I just think, you know, those games, Hooks, before Real, where you drew them because you were resting and rotating. You're going to do that for PSG. If you beat PSG, you're going to do that for the final. Your mindset is the same. Like, as much as we will, banter it, yeah, your mindset 2nd to 5th is the same as long as you win the Champions League. You get me? That's what it is.
At this point, I don't care about I don't care about
exactly.
that.
But it makes it fun that me and you will just beef up over it, isn't it? So it's something to at least discuss.
The teams that we have left, we beat. Like, that's the thing. The team, like my games, I don't know.
You got Newcastle and Liverpool, haven't you?
I think my games are fairly but by then, like the Liverpool I'm going to be facing, they've already won the league. They're not really playing for anything. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got Crystal Palace at home. Bournemouth, Crystal Palace are going to rotate because it's like 4 days.
That's the best time for you because that's before their semi and before your PSG game, isn't it?
Yeah, we got Bournemouth.
So you'll both double rotate on that, yeah.
Bournemouth at home, I expect us to win that, but we could draw. It's not that deep. Liverpool away, probably a draw, but by that point, they're already on the boozer. Do you know what I mean? Like they're already on the boozer. They're already celebrating. They're probably going to this game after a night out on the town, innit? So like, I wouldn't be surprised if we won that game. The Newcastle game at home, we usually beat them. Maybe it's a draw. Who gives a shit? Because by that point, I got Southampton away as my last game of the season. I am winning that 100%.
Yeah, I know, but you still don't care. Is my point.
I don't care, but just because I don't care doesn't mean that you're going to finish above, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying, well, let's say we beat Spurs tonight, right? That's a 6-point gap. I can see you drawing 3 games.
But even if we draw 3 games, you won't catch us, bro.
Do the maths.
What?
No, but the thing is, Wolfie, the reason why I don't think you're right is because you said your aim is to get to 65 to 68 points. That's sort of the sweet spot. Arsenal already on 66. Arsenal
no, that's what I'm saying you need for top 5. That's what I'm saying you need. I'm not saying we just scrape.
You reckon you're going to be in and around that though, 65 to 68, right? Or do you think
I don't know, bro. Like the Everton game was a stinker. Absolute stinker. Even if Murillo doesn't make that mistake at the end, it doesn't change how we played that game. It was a stinker. Our problem is facing an Everton team is not what Nuno likes. To be honest, on paper, the team he would love to face, if you could ask him, name a team from 1 to 19, from 1 to 20 in the Premier League he'd like to face, I think he would say Spurs. Because he likes that where the team comes and presses on, chucks their fullbacks high, leave spaces for Elanga, etc. to get in. Everton is a stinker, but we have a couple of Evertons coming up. Like you would say, maybe Leicester, although it should be a comfortable win. Do you get what I mean? A team that sits back while we're sitting back. I mean, what happens to the ball? Does it just stay in the middle of the center circle? So where we've got a Spurs, that's probably a more likely win than, say, a Crystal Palace away. That's probably another good example of a team that plays similar style to, say, an Everton or a Forest. That game, in theory, should be harder than the Spurs game for a Nuno system. I ain't saying we win this one and lose that one, but I'm saying in theory. But we could win all our games that are remaining. I don't look at any of those games and think, and I'm talking on paper here.
Yeah.
What comes into it is the pressure. Okay, that's where you add the anomaly into it. Because you look at Spurs, you're playing for nothing in the league. Brentford kind of still hanging on for maybe a lower European spot, maybe a Conference League or something. So you'd say they're playing for something.
Yeah.
Palace, they don't care. They're all about the FA Cup, win or bust with that. Leicester are down. Who else we got? And then Chelsea. Chelsea at that stage may be playing for nothing because they're in Europa or something like that. Or whenever the Conference League final is, if they make that.
Conference is 7th place, no?
Big up fams on.
I think it'll be 8th. I think
isn't there 2 Europa League spots?
So there's a Europa League spot in the league and a Europa League spot from the FA Cup.
The FA Cup, isn't it?
Now,
yes.
That means 7th will be Conference.
If Man City win if they win the FA Cup,
Yeah.
then it goes to 7th, the Europa League spot, basically.
And then Conference
if any
goes
of the other teams, if not the Forest finish inside the top 4 or top 5 and win it, then it goes down. Yeah, so it just depends who's win it and where the spot goes to. It could
basically the easiest way, I've done some maths on this, the easiest way to think it is that it will be 8 spots unless Crystal Palace win the FA Cup. Do you get me? Because if Palace win the FA Cup, then only one position from the league will go to Europa, which will be 6th. So 7th will be Conference.
Yeah.
And you know what? If that's Chelsea, I'm hit, man. If Chelsea end up in the Conference again next season, man,
that would be beautiful. We would love
win
to
this
see
conference. Do you know what, man? Betis and Fiorentina aren't slouches.
No, but they've got each other. That's the thing. They've basically got a free ride.
But that's fine. That guarantees you a decent finalist for Chelsea because they'll get in the final. The team they're playing is called like something Garden
or something.
Yeah.
Next team, man.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I don't think Chelsea win it. To be fair, I think the winners on the other side, Betis or Fiorentina, personally. But we'll see.
I think so. I hear it. Same. That's what I hope so. Anyway, but bringing this back to the game,